In the vast and ancient landscapes of South Africa, a story of incredible wealth lies hidden. It is not a tale of diamonds alone, but of gold. This precious metal has shaped the very destiny of this nation. It has built cities from dust and drawn people from every corner of the globe. This story is etched into small, circular pieces of metal. These are the coins of South Africa. They are more than just money. They are miniature monuments, each one a silent witness to a chapter in a long and often turbulent history. Looking closely at these coins, one can trace the hopes, struggles, and triumphs of a nation. They are a physical connection to the past. These remarkable objects are not always found in guarded vaults or grand museums. Sometimes, they lie forgotten in old drawers tucked away in dusty boxes, or even buried in a garden. They wait patiently to be rediscovered. For many, they are simply old currency, remnants of a time long gone. But, for the keen-eyed observer, they represent something far greater. They are a potential key to unlocking a fortune. The world of South African numismatics, the study of coins, is a thrilling realm where history and immense value collide. It is a world where a simple piece of pocket change from the past could change a person's life in the present. It is a treasure hunt that anyone can join. The allure of these coins comes from their unique stories. Some tell of a great gold rush that transformed a simple farming society into an industrial giant. Others speak of wars and the desperate measures taken to survive them. There are coins that celebrate the end of a long struggle for freedom and the birth of a new, unified nation. Each scratch, each faded portrait, and each unique design element adds to its character and, often, to its value. Understanding this history is the first step towards recognizing the extraordinary potential held within these small metallic discs. They are a tangible link to the very soul of South Africa. And so, our journey begins. We will travel back in time to explore the origins of this incredible wealth. We will witness the discovery that sparked a revolution and meet the iconic figures immortalized in gold. We will navigate the dramatic twists of history, from the battlefields of the Anglo-Boer War to the dawn of democracy. Along the way, we will uncover the secrets that make certain coins astonishingly valuable. This is a story of discovery, of rarity, and of the surprising ways that history can turn into treasure. It is a journey into the heart of South Africa, one coin at a time. Our story truly begins in the year 1886, on a quiet, unassuming farm in a region known as the Witwatersrand, or the Ridge of White Waters. A discovery was made that would forever alter the course of South Africa's history. An Australian prospector named George Harrison stumbled upon an outcrop of gold-bearing rock. This was no small find. It was the main reef of the largest gold deposit the world had ever known. The news spread like a wildfire across the dry grasslands. Suddenly, this quiet corner of the Transvaal Republic became the most exciting destination on Earth. A great gold rush had begun, and the world would never be the same again. The impact was immediate and profound. From all over the world, hopeful prospectors, skilled miners, and ambitious adventurers flocked to this new land of opportunity. A sprawling tent city quickly grew, which would soon become the metropolis of Johannesburg. The landscape was transformed. Deep shafts were sunk into the earth, and the rhythmic pounding of stamp mills, crushing ore to release the gold, became the new heartbeat of the region. This sudden influx of people and capital turned the once poor, agricultural South African Republic, led by President Paul Kruger, into a place of immense strategic and economic importance. It was an industrial revolution on a scale never seen before in Africa. This newfound wealth brought with it new challenges. The influx of foreign miners, known as Witlanders, created political tensions with the established Boer farming community. But it also brought the need for a formal economy and a national currency befitting this new status. Before the gold rush, the Republic had relied on a mix of foreign coins and simple paper notes. Now, with gold flowing from the ground, the time had come for South Africa to mint its own coins. This was a powerful statement of sovereignty and economic independence. The government decided to create a currency that would reflect the nation's golden heart. This decision laid the foundation for South Africa's rich numismatic history. The gold, pulled from the Witwatersrand, would not just be exported as raw bullion. It would be carefully refined and struck into beautiful coins, bearing the symbols of the Republic. These coins were a declaration to the world that the South African Republic was a power to be reckoned with. They were a tangible representation of the nation's incredible natural resources. The discovery of gold did not just create wealth, it created an identity, and this identity would be minted piece by piece in shining gold for all the world to see. With gold now abundant, President Paul Kruger moved to establish a national mint in Pretoria in 1892. This was a monumental step. For the first time, the South African Republic would produce its own official gold coins. The flagship of this new currency was the Pond, a coin equal in weight and gold content to the British sovereign. This was a deliberate choice, designed to ensure it would be accepted in international trade. But this was no mere copy. The Kruger Pond was a powerful symbol of Boer identity. Instead of a British monarch, its obverse featured the distinctive bearded portrait of President Paul Kruger himself. It was a bold statement of independence. The most famous of these early coins is the 1892 double-shaft Pond. When the first batch of coins arrived from the mint in Germany, a mistake was noticed. The wagon depicted on the coin's reverse, a traditional Boer ox wagon, had two shafts at the front instead of the correct single shaft, or disselboom. This error was seen by some as a grave insult, suggesting the Boers did not even know what their own wagons looked like. The coins were quickly recalled and a new design was ordered. This swift action, however, made the few surviving double-shaft Ponds incredibly rare. They became artifacts of a historical controversy. Another legendary coin from this era is the single 9 Pond. In 1898, the dies used to mint the coins for the following year, 1899, were not ready in time. To solve this problem, the mint decided to use the old 1898 dies and simply punch a 99 over the last two digits of the date. However, on one particular die, only a single 9 was punched, creating the 1899 over 1898 Pond. It is believed that only one of these coins was ever struck. It is the ultimate prize for collectors of South African coins, representing a unique moment of improvisation at the mint. Its rarity is absolute, making it one of the most valuable coins in the world. These Kruger Ponds are more than just rare collector's items. They are relics from a pivotal time in South African history. They represent the peak of the South African Republic's confidence and prosperity before the outbreak of war. The stern gaze of Paul Kruger on each coin is a reminder of his leadership and his fierce determination to protect his republic's independence. Finding one of these coins today is like finding a direct link to that bygone era. It is a piece of a president's legacy, forged in the very gold that defined his nation, and made precious by the fascinating quirks of history. The simmering tensions between the Boer republics and the expanding British Empire finally erupted into the Anglo-Boer War in 1899. This brutal conflict had a dramatic impact on every aspect of life, including the nation's currency. As the war progressed and British forces advanced, the Boers were cut off from their mint in Pretoria. Gold was still being mined, but there was no way to strike it into official coins. Yet the Boer commandos fighting in the field still needed to be paid, and supplies needed to be purchased. An ingenious solution was required, leading to the creation of some of the most fascinating coins in South African history. In a remote corner of the Transvaal, near the town of Pilgrim's Rest, a makeshift mint was established. This was guerrilla minting born of desperation and ingenuity. Using simple, hand-operated machinery, the Boers began to strike their own gold coins in the field. These were known as the Veldponde, or field ponds. They were cruder than the official Kruger Ponds, struck from hand-engraved dies on whatever gold was available. Each coin is slightly different, bearing the marks of its difficult birth. They are a raw and powerful symbol of Boer resistance and their refusal to surrender. The most famous of these emergency issues is the 1902 Veldpond. Struck in the final months of the war, only 986 of these coins were ever made. They bear the simple inscription ZAR for Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek and the date, 1902. They were minted from the last of the Boers' gold, a final act of defiance before the peace treaty was signed. Because of their incredibly low mintage and their direct connection to the drama of the war, these Veldponde are exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors around the world. To hold one is to feel the weight of a nation's final struggle for independence. The end of the war in 1902 brought the Boer republics under British rule. The Kruger Pond was no more, replaced by British currency. The independent mint was silenced. For decades, South Africa would use coins bearing the portraits of British monarchs. The era of the Boer republics and their iconic gold coins had come to a close. But the story of these coins did not end there. They became treasured keepsakes, passed down through generations, mementos of a lost cause and a testament to the resilience of a people. They are echoes of war, forged in fire and conflict, and their value today reflects their dramatic and poignant history. For many years after the Anglo-Boer War, South Africa, despite being the world's largest gold producer, did not have its own signature gold coin. The nation's immense wealth was largely exported as anonymous bars of bullion. In the 1960s, a visionary idea began to take shape at the South African Mint. The goal was to create a new type of gold coin, one that was not intended for general circulation, but was designed specifically for private investors to own gold easily. This coin would be legal tender, but its true value would be directly tied to the fluctuating price of gold. In 1967, this revolutionary idea became a reality with the minting of the very first Krugerrand. The design of the Krugerrand was a masterful blend of history and national pride. For the obverse, the portrait of Paul Kruger was chosen, linking the new coin directly to the historic Kruger Ponds of the first South African Republic. This was a nod to the nation's long and storied history with gold. For the reverse, a symbol that was uniquely South African was selected, the graceful springbok antelope, one of the country's national animals. The name itself was a combination of Kruger and the Rand, the official currency of modern South Africa. It was a coin that was both deeply historic and proudly modern. The Krugerrand was a brilliant innovation. It was the world's first gold bullion coin. It was struck from an alloy of 22-karat gold, meaning it contained exactly 1 troy ounce of pure gold mixed with a small amount of copper. This copper content gave the coin its distinctive orange-gold hue and made it more durable and resistant to scratches than a pure 24-karat gold coin. The concept was simple. Anyone, anywhere in the world could now own a precisely measured unit of South African gold in the convenient and beautifully struck form of a coin. It democratized the ownership of gold. The launch of the Krugerrand was an overwhelming success. It quickly became the most popular way for individuals to invest in gold. By the 1980s, the Krugerrand accounted for over 90% of the global gold coin market. It set the standard that all other bullion coins, such as the Canadian maple leaf and the American eagle, would later follow. The Krugerrand was not just a coin, it was a global phenomenon. It transformed the way the world thought about gold investment and cemented South Africa's position not just as a producer of gold, but as a leader in the global gold market. The value of a Krugerrand is, at its core, tied to the value of its gold content. As the global price of gold rises and falls on the international markets, so too does the base value of a Krugerrand. This can, lead to rapid changes in its worth. An investor might purchase a Krugerrand one week, and if the gold price surges due to economic uncertainty or increased demand, find that their coin is worth significantly more in less than 30 days. This direct link to a globally traded commodity makes the Krugerrand a dynamic and exciting asset. It is a small, portable store of wealth that reflects the pulse of the world economy. However, the story of a Krugerrand's value is not just about its gold content. Rarity plays a crucial role. While millions of standard Krugerrands were minted in some years, in other years the mintage numbers were much lower. For example, the early years of production, from 1967 to 1969, saw very limited numbers of coins struck. These early-date Krugerrands are highly prized by collectors and command a significant premium over their simple gold value. A 1967 Krugerrand is far more valuable than a common-date coin from 1978, even though both contain exactly 1 ounce of gold. The date on the coin can make all the difference. The world's demand for Krugerrands also has a powerful effect on their value. During the 1970s and 80s, many Western countries banned the importation of Krugerrands as part of economic sanctions against South Africa's apartheid government. This made the coins difficult to acquire in those regions, paradoxically increasing their allure and value among some investors. When these sanctions were lifted in the 1990s, a new wave of global demand was unleashed. Today, the Krugerrand is one of the most recognized and trusted gold coins in the world, with a liquid market that ensures it can be bought and sold with ease, further supporting its value. Furthermore, the South African Mint occasionally releases special proof or commemorative editions of the Krugerrand. These coins are struck using specially polished dies, giving them a beautiful mirror-like finish. They are produced in very small, strictly limited quantities and are aimed specifically at the collector market. A proof Krugerrand from a year with a low mintage, or one celebrating a special anniversary like the 50th anniversary in 2017, can be worth many times its weight in gold. It is this thrilling combination of gold price, mintage rarity, and global demand that can cause the value of a Krugerrand to rise so quickly, turning a simple investment into a remarkable windfall. Beyond the world of gold bullion, South Africa has produced coins that carry a value far greater than their metallic content. They carry the weight of history and the spirit of reconciliation. No figure is more central to this story than Nelson Mandela. To commemorate his life and legacy, the South African Mint has issued a series of remarkable coins that have captured the hearts of collectors worldwide. These are not just pieces of currency. They are powerful symbols of the struggle against apartheid and the triumph of democracy. They celebrate a man who became a global icon of peace and freedom. Perhaps the most famous of these is the 2008 90th birthday R5 coin. This coin was released into general circulation, meaning millions of them were used in everyday transactions. However, a special commemorative set was also created, which included a bimetallic R5 coin and a stunning gold coin. The gold coin, in particular, is highly sought after. It features the same smiling portrait of Mandela that appeared on the circulation coin, but it is struck in pure gold. Its value comes not only from the precious metal, but from its direct association with this milestone in Mandela's life, a celebration of his journey from prisoner to president. Another exceptionally valuable Mandela coin is the 1994 Presidential Inauguration Medallion. While not technically a coin meant for circulation, this piece is a cornerstone of any serious collection. It was struck to celebrate Mandela's inauguration as South Africa's first democratically elected president. It marks the official end of apartheid and the birth of the Rainbow Nation. These medallions were produced in very limited numbers, especially the gold versions. They represent a singular moment in history, a turning point for the nation and the world. Owning one is like owning a piece of that incredible day. The value of these Mandela coins continues to grow. His passing in 2013 only deepened the desire for these tangible connections to his legacy. Collectors and admirers from all corners of the globe seek out these coins, not just as an investment, but as a way to honor his memory. Special issues, such as the Life of a Legend series, which depicts different stages of Mandela's journey, are released in limited editions and often sell out quickly. These coins are a testament to the power of a single individual to inspire a nation and change the world, and their value reflects the immense respect and love felt for Nelson Mandela. In the highly precise and mechanical world of coin manufacturing, mistakes are not supposed to happen. Every coin is intended to be a perfect replica of the one before it, but sometimes things go wrong. A die cracks, a coin is struck off center, or two different designs are accidentally combined. These are known as mint errors, and they can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary rarity. For numismatists, these imperfections are not flaws, they are beautiful, unique, and often incredibly valuable. An error coin is a one-of-a-kind piece that slipped through the rigorous quality control of the mint, and that is precisely what makes it so special. One of the most common types of errors is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. The result is a design that is shifted to one side, with part of the coin remaining blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more desirable it is to collectors. Another fascinating error is a mule. This is a coin that has been struck with the obverse die of one coin and the reverse die of another. A famous South African example is a mule error that combined the front of one coin with the back of a completely different denomination, creating a hybrid that should never have existed. The value of an error coin depends on several factors. The rarity of the error is key. Is it a common type of small error, or is it a spectacular major mistake that is rarely seen? The coin on which the error occurred also matters. An error on a rare gold coin, for instance, will be far more valuable than the same error on a common circulation coin. The visibility and dramatic nature of the error also play a large part. A tiny, barely noticeable flaw may add a small premium, but a large, obvious, and visually striking error can increase a coin's value by hundreds or even thousands of times its face value. Finding an error coin is a moment of pure excitement. It requires a keen eye and the habit of looking closely at the change in your pocket. These mistakes are not listed in any catalog, and their number is always unknown. They are accidental treasures. People have found them in their change after buying groceries or discovered them while sorting through an old jar of coins. These unique pieces are a reminder that perfection is not always the source of value. In the world of coin collecting, it is often the beautiful mistake, the happy accident, that creates the most precious and sought-after treasures. The stories of fortunes found in unexpected places are not just legends, they are real. All across South Africa, ordinary people have stumbled upon extraordinary wealth, hidden within a handful of old coins. One famous story tells of a family cleaning out their late grandfather's farm shed. Tucked away in a rusted tin box amongst old nails and bolts was a small, heavy pouch. Inside were a few dusty gold coins. They almost dismissed them as play money, but a curious grandchild insisted they get them checked. They turned out to be a set of pristine Kruger Ponds, including one from a rare date worth a life-changing amount of money. The treasure had been sitting there, forgotten, for decades. Another tale involves a woman who inherited a small jewelry box from her aunt. She loved the intricate bracelets and brooches, but at the bottom of the box lay a single, strange-looking R5 coin. It was heavier than a normal coin and had a slightly different color. She had heard stories about valuable Mandela coins and decided to take it to a dealer. To her astonishment, she learned it was not a standard R5 at all, but a solid gold-proof version from a limited edition set. It had been separated from its case long ago. What she thought was a 5 Rand piece was actually worth a small fortune. So, how can you join this treasure hunt? The first step is to look for gold. Any South African coin made of gold, from the old Kruger Ponds to the modern Krugerrand, has a significant base value. Check the date, as low mintage years are far more valuable. Look at the person on the coin. Coins featuring Paul Kruger or Nelson Mandela are often the most sought after. Finally, examine every coin for mistakes. Look for designs that are off-center, strange lettering, or any feature that seems unusual. Even a small error on a common coin can make it valuable to the right collector. These coins are so much more than money. They are miniature time capsules, each one holding a story of gold rushes, wars, and the fight for freedom. They are tangible pieces of South Africa's soul, forged in the fires of its history. They are a testament to the nation's incredible journey, and for the lucky few, they are a source of sudden and unexpected wealth. The next time you find an old coin, don't just see it as old currency. Look closer. You might be holding a lost treasure, a key to the past, and a fortune waiting to be unlocked. The great South African coin hunt is on, and the next amazing discovery